Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We've got a special guest this morning. We actually have a guest I've referenced. I believe it was Wednesday morning with Anna Kelly. We talked about, comparing yourself to others, taking your first year, get someone's 10th year, just the regret and pain and all of that. So he was gracious enough to say yes to an early morning interview. Let's welcome Kade Barrett to the show. How you doing, Kade?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me on, Michael. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Well, do me a favor, Kade. Give the audience a quick kind of bio on who you are, what you're at, what you do in this real estate world, and then we will get into your Facebook post.
Yeah, so my name is Kade Barrett. I am 23 years old. I am a full-time real estate agent and real estate investor. On the investor side, I do flips, I do wholesales. I also own rental properties, none local. They are all out of state. I've been doing that full time for about a year. I just graduated from Fresno State University last May, but I've been in the real estate space as an assistant in some capacity since either 2018 or 2019, so a little bit longer. Been officially licensed since 2020, and like I said, hit the ground full time last May after graduating.
Yeah. So this is going to be fun because what you just went through, most people would be, oh my gosh, Kade is so far ahead of the game. I wish I could be where he's at. He's been full time. He does this, he does that. And the guy's 23 years old, right? You are at an amazing, I've told many, many people, I wish I started earlier, right? I didn't do my first thing until I was 30. And then again, so that's where you are. I would argue that most people are applauding and standing up and going, great job, great job. But you had a moment of reflection, right? I guess it's one of the challenges of real estate is you start networking, right? It's a big deal, right? Your network is your net worth. You're doing stuff locally and out of state. You start rubbing elbows with the best of the best, right? Jason Pritchard,
Yep.
who is a mentor of yours, and I routinely say he's the best investor in my market. EVC Homes, the
Yep.
best flippers in my market, right? You're rubbing elbows with the best of the best. And again, I think it's fair to say both of those folks are older than you by decades. But again, you look at where they are, you look at where you are, and sometimes you can get lost in comparison. Is that kind of what happened when you were kind of seeing? It seemed like you were beating yourself up.
Yeah, and you know they it's hard because yes, the answer to your question is yes. I think even more importantly, or maybe even more of a direct comparison to where that post was coming from
Okay.
was even more people closer to my own age,
Mm.
peers in the office who maybe they are mid to late 20s, who are out there, who are crushing it, who either may or may not have been in the business for however long, right? So yes, it is easy to compare yourself to the best investors in your market. Like you mentioned, two amazing investors, one of which was one of my mentors when I got into the business, Jason Pritchard, and then obviously EVC Homes. Comparing yourselves to them is a little different than it is comparing yourself to peers your own age, where you look at somebody and you go, dude, I am right there. Like I'm almost there. And it's easy to get caught in the comparison trap that way. And I think it's even a little bit easier when people are closer to your own age, or even they may be business partners, they might be friends, they might even be associates, right? But whatever it is.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So that makes total sense to me because again, I guess when you look at the best of the best, it's probably easier to say, hey, I won't be Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Barry Bonds, whatever, right? Can't do that. But then you look over your right shoulder and your left shoulder, and you've got a bunch of 25-year-olds, again, relatively close to your age.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn it, they're ahead of me too. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Because I mean, just thinking about it, right? Not to say that looking at Jason or looking at EVC or looking at other killer,
Mm-hmm.
older, seasoned investors in your
Right.
market, not looking at them and saying, I can't get there. I can get there. It may take me a little bit longer, but I've got Joe and Jane right here who are close to my age. They're absolutely crushing it and steamrolling it, and I'm kind of like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong here? Let's go. Let's pick it up.
Nice, nice. So, so let's talk about that, because again, I think a lot of people that get into real estate, and frankly, this really doesn't even have to be a real estate investing question. This post was obviously about real estate. That's where you and I play, most of the time. But this could be other entrepreneur things. This could be, well, I worked in a sales commission job forever. It could be quota based. Hey, why are they ahead of me? Right? They've been at the company 2 years less. They're younger than me. How the hell are they selling more than me? Those kinds of things. And it's just, I think sometimes we need to step back. And what really got me about your post, Kade, was you talked about, at least it seemed to me, you were beating yourself up for getting I guess I'll call it a server job. I'm not really sure what it's called, but basically you're in a commission-based business, and you said, hey, I need a little bit more, make some more money while I get in this game. So you went out and became a server at a restaurant, and I thought that was awesome. Anna Kelly thought that was awesome. Most people don't do it. They whimper and then they leave the business to do something else. So talk about that kind of flashbulb or light bulb moment where you made the choice to say, you know what, I need to make some more income just to really give this a go.
Yeah. So I've had actually a couple, various second jobs or supplemental jobs when, being in this space. And I preface the whole post with, there are building a business is hard. Being a business owner is hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Life is hard, right? So the times, so there were a couple times where obviously when you're in a commission-based business, it is very notorious, at least in the beginning, where your income are like peaks and valleys. It's hot and cold. All right, you can pop off for your biggest month yet, and then you can go into a lull for 3 or 4 months and not make a single dollar, right? So especially in the beginning, as a young guy out there trying to go out and build his real estate business with still having bills to be paid, I'm like, okay, money hasn't come in 4 months. I am thinking it's probably smart to go out there and at least make a little bit of money so I can pay my bills and still stay afloat. So I had gone through a couple second jobs. The most recent post and the most recent job was a server job in the restaurant industry, which was, kind of the preface for that whole post. And it's hard because you said you did an interview on Wednesday with somebody else, and both of you were like, yes, that's great idea. And the common theme here, especially talking with other people who have been similar to my position, who have gone out and done the same thing, people have all told them the same exact thing. People have told me the same exact thing, like, yes, that's smart, go out and do it, right? But it's one thing for people to tell you like, hey, that's great, yes, but still, at the beginning, it was still a self-image and an embarrassment thing, right? And that was kind of the middle chunk of the post where I was just breaking it down. I was like, yes, Michael, Jason, all these guys are saying, yes, go out and do it. Go out and do the second job. Make sure you can pay the bills at night so you're not stressed there, and then go out and crush and keep building your business. But from a young guy, in my perspective, just starting that, like I shared in the post, I was absolutely embarrassed when people were asking what I was doing, how business was going. I was absolutely embarrassed to share that, hey, no guy, nobody, guy, gal, no investor, no business owner, no entrepreneur really likes breaking it down and saying, hey, my business is doing so cruddy that I have to go out and get a second job while I'm still trying to do better, right? So even though people might be saying, yes, you're doing the smart thing, go and do it. At the very beginning, regardless, I was still embarrassed, right?
Yeah, we need to talk about this because this is exactly where I was hoping we would go, right?
Yeah,
You have the best of the best and people that you would call mentors, and
absolutely.
even more importantly, friends, right?
Yes.
That's kind of the best thing, telling you it was the right thing to do. But you still have this internal monologue. You still have, hey, I'm this 22, 23-year-old guy. I'm trying to make it in this business. I know it's possible. I see others doing it. My business is cruddy, to use your word. It is so cruddy. I've got to go sell hours at a job serving food. I get why but again, it's all self-talk.
100%.
And it's all self-talk. And I wish more people would just acknowledge this. And this frankly is the problem with social media. Social media is 99.9% I'm killing it. There are very few posts. I could probably count them on one hand, not even two, that are truly self-reflection. Your post is one of them. Business is bad or was bad. But here's the deal, folks. I keep telling you, this business that we've all chosen to be in, whether it's full-time as Kade or part-time like I did it, sucks the first 3 to 5 years. It sucks for everyone. Now, here's the wrinkle that I don't think I've said before, is it sucks different for everyone. For Kade, it was, hey, my income is, up and down. I need a little bit less stress to pay my bills so I can keep going. What was the choice? Not get a job and then burn bridges and borrow money from everybody you can and never get ahead? Well, that life sucks. No, decompress, remove the pressure, move on. How did it suck for me? Well, I didn't have any down payment money after my first 3 deals. What the hell was I going to do? I chose a market 3 hours away I'd never lived in. I had my first tenant freaking caused of $15,000 in damage. It sucks for everyone. It sucks different. What I would ask everybody to do is just understand it's going to suck for you. And then get off your ass, pick yourself up, and keep going. If you can get through the first 5 years, it gets better. And if you get 10 years in, it gets really, really good. And then if you're like EVC Homes or Jason or myself and you're in it 15, 20 years, it's pretty good. But you've got to get through the suck. And I just wish more people would have the balls, the courage to write a post like you did. So I wanted to pat you on the back.
Thank you.
And kick you in the ass, right? Pat you on the back for the self-reflection, but also kick you in the ass. We keep telling you, keep going. The momentum is building. You don't want the momentum to stop. So getting a job was the right answer. So you can focus during the day and keep the ball going. So what do you think of all that?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. And I was having a extremely similar conversation with one of my business partners last week on the podcast we run, is when it can be very easy, right? Like we're talking about, to catch yourself in, the comparison trap, right? Oh, how all my problems would be going away right now if I was just in Michael's position, right? How all of my problems would just go away if I was in, John Doe's situation, making 3 times the amount of money that I am, right? But the thing people have to understand is there are always going to be problems in your business. There's always going to be problems in your life, right? It's not that the problems go away. It's that the problems change, right? So 3 years ago, my problem was, or one of my problems was just getting just trying to start building the business off the ground, and had to go get, the first of a few second jobs to go and do this, right? But then this year, right, doing a little bit better, 3 years ago, me looking at me now would have been like, all of my problems would be going away if I was just bringing in, call it 6 figures, right? If I was just bringing in 6 figures, my problems would go away. right? But then an example now is, okay, well, this year we had to pony up a couple months ago, write a $12,000 check for damages out for rentals out of state, right? So even though my problem now may not be, how do I pay the bills? The problems are just shifting, and the problems will continue to shift and change no matter what point you are at in your business. And the sooner you realize that and you put your head down and you put together hard work and consistency and do the things that people are telling you to do and not reinventing the wheel, the easier it's going to be.
No, I couldn't agree more. One sec. So I created the ORAT rules because everybody asking how'd you do it, how'd you do it. So kind of the first one is focus, daily and then number 2 is daily discipline. But I want to jump to number 5. This is what you just said. These are my words, not yours. Bad things will happen. That's kind of the big message. And then underneath it, it says, sorry, learn, and move on.
Yeah.
If you want to stay in this business, that's what you have to do, right? You get a surprise $12,000 check you have to write. Well, you could say ouch for a couple of minutes, but then you got to dig in and go, what could I do different? What can I learn? Are there processes, or is this just an event that happened and, suck it up and keep moving? This business is going to keep, this business doesn't stop.
No.
It will, real estate investing, I'm really convinced, tries to kick you out, right? We've all heard that real estate is where more millionaires are created. I actually don't know where that's sourced. I just like quoting it. So
yeah,
enough people have said it, I'll quote it too. No idea if it's true. I hope it is. But I really do think real estate investing tries to kick people out because it gets so good. If you're in it for 5+ years and it has to cash flow day one, 30-year fixed rate debt, don't bet on appreciation, all the stuff that can get you kicked out, don't have bad debt. Why did Dave Ramsey go bankrupt? Because he had 90-day debt. Don't do that. That's dumb, right? Go get 30-year fixed rate debt. Don't bet on appreciation because markets change. Yeah. Don't get overextended. Don't change your lifestyle, right? There's an investor in your market who was killing it in the 05, 06. Then he started doing other things, a sunglass, a bar, this other things. And pretty soon, bingo, bango, done. Right. So you've got to kind of stay true. So I really do think real estate kicks you out. That's why bad things happen. But it's how you learn and move on. So what do you think of all that?
Yeah, it's perfect because bad things will always happen. Your problems will always happen. It's just the bad things and the problems are just going to be different bad things and problems no matter where you are. You're going to have bad things and problems at the start, even though you think, hey, all my bad things and problems, would go away if I was just making more money. No.
I still have problems after 22 years, right? I'm still learning. So, yeah. So do me a favor, Kade. Tell us what do you see in the next couple of years? What are you going to be doing? How are you going to blow us out of the water in the next year or two?
Man, I think a big change, rewinding to the post a little bit and kind of intertwining if I can.
Sure.
I think a big change for people, it is if you're going to do this part-time, especially like you did, Michael, not only do you have to be laser focused, you have to be even more laser focused than the guys who are doing it full-time.
Amen.
Because there is you've got a quarter, if not even less, of the amount of time, way less than the time the people full-time are going to be putting into this, right? So if you are either starting out part-time because that's all you can do, right? Yeah. And you're gradually wanting to increase whatever it is, or your plan is just to do this part-time because you love your 9 to 5, or you love your W-2, or you love whatever else it is that is your full-time and your passion, right? But you have got to be absolutely laser focused. And I think a big game changer for me that I am still coming out of and still trying to build the momentum was it was really hard for me while a full-time student to stay focused on school when I'm learning all of this stuff part-time in real estate. So I think one of the biggest game changers for me was last May officially being done with school, right? And being able to now have the full amount of time each and every day to go out and crush it, right? Intertwining that with the last bit of the post that I wanted to share was it now looking back, I am embarrassed, and this was part of the post. I am embarrassed that I did not listen to guys like you, Michael, like Jason. I am embarrassed that I ever felt embarrassed for having.
Oh, now we're getting all twisted.
See, that I ever felt embarrassed by having to go out and do what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And the biggest mindset shift for me was in my most recent second job a while ago. You've got to go in with the mindset, whatever it is that you're doing. For me, it was busing, serving, waiting on tables, right? For somebody else, it could be dishwashing, whatever it is you're doing, right? You've got to be going in there with the mindset that, hey, I'm going to be the best fucking waiter, host, hostess, busser, dishwasher, whatever it is. I'm going to go in this evening, tonight, this afternoon, and I'm going to be the very best that I can be. And then when the shift is done, I'm going to come in tomorrow and I'm going to do the same exact thing over and over and over and over. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended that with, even though that mindset shift was not something, it was not a direct change I made in my business, right? In my real estate business. I didn't change anything. Yeah. I didn't spend money on some crazy new marketing thing, right? This indirect mindset shift will not only help you boost your business and your business growth, but also your personal growth. Having that mindset not only will help you grow your business and grow even yourself and your identity, but you've got to be going in with that mindset, because when you pay attention to the small details, when you go in, like for me, one of the things was, okay, if I'm going in and I'm cleaning off a table, I'm going to make sure the whole freaking table is absolutely clean, and I'm going to be a little OCD about it and make sure everything's done. And I don't remember where I heard it, and I'm disappointed I can't give credit because I don't remember when I came across it or heard it. But when you pay attention to the small details like that, your subconscious mind, when you make that mindset shift, you're also going to pay attention and then carry that over to be the best that you can be in all other aspects of your life and in your business, which totally is going to be a catalyst and a game changer for your business. So to answer your original question, I think having this past year of part of that year, which was also having a second job after graduating, because I'm like, boom, I'm coming out of graduating. I'm gonna have all this time. I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna be fine. Well, boom, couple, months of not bringing in income. I'm like, boom, okay, go and do this. I think with that mindset shift, and just doing the things that other successful investors in this market, mentors, coaches, friends, other investors who are doing what you want to be doing. It's just taking that advice, soaking it in, and just doing the things you need to be doing consistently with hard work. And that's what you can do. It is inevitable to see success if you are doing the right things, you're putting in the hard work, and you are being consistent. It's inevitable.
Awesome. Okay, do me a favor. We need to wrap this up. Where can people find you, and give a plug for your podcast?
Yeah, people can find me across all social medias. I'm just at Kade Barrett. The podcast that I host with my business partner, Scott Farrow, is called the Pursuit of Property Podcast. You can find us on all platforms where podcasts are found. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff.
Awesome, buddy. Thanks again. Keep it up. Keep going. I'm always here for you if you have any questions. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me on, Michael. Appreciate you.
You got it.